Here on Kababayan LA, we also try to simplify American laws for you para po masalo nating maintindihan. And when we understand the law, we are able to fight for our rights. At yan po ang ginagawa para sa atin ng ating mga kababayan kompanyero sa Simply Legal.
Hindi kailangan nakakalito ang batas. Liwanagin natin sa Simply Legal. Brought to you by Attorney Karina Castañeda and Attorney Manny Ibay.
Attorney Karina Castañeda is joining us today on Kababayan LA. Hello and welcome once again.
Thank you, Janelle.
Let us talk about DUI, driving under the influence. A lot of people still do that. A lot of people are caught doing that. You know, just the other day, my sister-in-law was telling me, one of her friends, okay, so she had been drinking, but she was okay to drive, but then one of her headlights was off, and she got flagged for that. When the officer started talking to her, the officer noticed that she may be driving under the influence, and so it became a DUI case. Boy, that's scary, no?
Well, that's what I always tell people. Sometimes you've got to make sure sometimes, you know, the reason for them to stop you is there's got to be a probable cause for the traffic stop. And once they stop you, they are trained to notice if you have red eyes, bloodshot eyes, alcohol breath emitting from your breath, from your car, if you're speaking in slurred voice.
Right.
Those kinds of things are objective symptoms of somebody being under the DUI.
And the thing is, when you are stopped, you cannot refuse to go through the test. Let me just review this with you very quickly. The first one is what happens after the traffic stop. The first thing is pre-field sobriety test questions. What are those questions?
Well, things like, where were you coming from? Do you have any medical conditions? You know, they're trying to see what could hamper or what could be the cause of, let's say, if you're limping, if you're moving, if you're slurring, what are your medical symptoms? Doctor's care, do you wear glasses, do you wear contact lenses? These are what they call pre-field sobriety test questionnaire. They're very brief and very quick.
And they ask you to get out of the car?
Well, no, they can do it inside the car, and they will also ask you, have you had any alcoholic beverage tonight?
And I know we've talked about this before. You say never to say yes. Is that what you're...
Well, okay, let me just tell you, on the record, everyone will say 2 beers.
Okay.
2 beers is, you know, something that everybody in that criminal arena will roll their eyes, because that's everybody says that.
2 beers.
Okay. Okay. And where were you coming from? People will say, well, I went to the bar down the street.
Okay.
And then they get stopped around 2 o'clock when the bar's closed. So these are all symptoms, let's say, of a DUI investigation.
Right. So you're basically incriminating yourself when you answer like that, yes?
Well, yes. I mean, do you have to answer those questions? No. But really, when you're one-on-one with a police, but, you know, you tend to, especially us Filipinos, we have a great deal of respect for them.
Okay.
And we will answer those questions.
Yeah, but let's focus on that. This is basically, the segment is really to educate our kababayan. Right. So you said we don't have to answer the question. How do we then respond?
I say this to a lot of people who come in my office who's been arrested for DUI. The only thing that you're required to do in a DUI investigation is to provide a chemical test. That is a breath or blood test, okay? There used to be urine, no longer, okay? And you can say, sir, I understand you're doing your job. I don't want to have to do the pre-field sobriety test. I don't want to do the field sobriety test, but I am agreeing to do a blood test. I am agreeing to do a breath test.
And the breath test is conducted right there and then, or do they have to...
What they do is they can take it on site, okay, where you're arrested. It's a pre-alcoholic screening device, and they will do it again at the station. But you can skip even the pre-alcohol screening device on site.
So you just go with them to the station?
Officer, no, they'll park your car, and they'll say, I understand you're doing your job, and you have to do this really respectfully, because they can charge you with resisting arrest or something to that effect. Okay? And say, I'm agreeing to do a blood test. I'm agreeing to do the blood test at the station. I'm agreeing to do a breath test at the station.
What happens after that? Do you convoy to the station?
No, they will not let you drive, because you could be under the influence, okay? They will arrest you. You will be cuffed. You will be in the back seat, and they'll park your car.
And that's okay. At that point, where do we call a lawyer like yourself?
Well, this is where sometimes it's very sticky, because you're not under arrest. You're under investigation until until they have proof that you're
should be arrested, right?
Right? So sometimes, you can call and they'll say, who are you calling? My mom, and you tell your mom, call Attorney Karina Castaneda, please, right? But they have the right to say, put that phone down, okay?
Oh.
You have to put that phone down.
Okay.
You have to just, because you're out there alone, let's say, if you don't have a companion, you're out there alone with let's say 2 police officers or 1. So you really, it's a sticky situation. Now, I tell my clients, of course, I understand that you have to do all this when you're out. But if I was stopped, I probably would say that, officer, I understand you're doing your job. I've been doing this. I was a district attorney. Now I'm a criminal defense attorney.
Right.
I'm not saying I won't do a chemical test. I'll do a blood test, and I'll sit in your patrol car right now.
Right. Oh, you can just be as respectful as you can.
Absolutely.
Very quickly, we're running out of time. Criminal. What is the punishment for first, second, and third DUI?
First is for first DUI. Maximum is 6 months in jail, 3 years summary probation, $390 plus penalty assessment. Those are taxes, which could be up to $1,600. Okay. For second, 96 hours is minimum. You're required to do that. Could be in jail. Days in max, and then there are these criminal school or alcohol classes that you're going to be required to do.
But a criminal defense lawyer like Attorney Karina Castaneda can help you negotiate, right? For things like that. Reduce,
negotiate,
and even expunge. Let's talk about that next time on Kababayan, expungement of a criminal record. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
More power to you. That's the number to call on the screen if you want to get the legal advice of Attorney Karina Castaneda. We'll be back for more. Don't go away.